Skyrim mods can be incredible, Skyrim mods can be beautiful, Skyrim mods can be kinda weird. But weird doesn't always mean bad. I mean, yeah, there's some wild stuff out there that can raise some eyebrows. Maybe put you on FBI's most wanted list and have people look at you like a real menace to society. Still, there's some form of weird that can be good, genius, and kinda eye-opening. It's the sort of special mods that put a slight smile on your face the first time you see them. And you just sort of lean back and think, huh, wow, the creator of this mod, this author's onto something. See, modding can be a source for quite a lot of fun, and that's what today's video is all about, as we take a look at a somewhat recent bunch of simple, fun, quirky, unique, perhaps slightly weird, yet genius, and of course the magic word itself, immersive Skyrim mods you definitely should take a look at if you haven't already. Now, when it comes to finding mods that give us that simple, quirky, and genius stroke of brilliance, we're starting with a couple of well thought out animation mods aimed at giving the player more visual feedback for when you're, you know, just doing stuff. Starting with some mods by Juhis, or Juha as he goes by on the Nexus. These focus on adding movement to usage of different items from your inventory, be it a mushroom, a health potion, or some drops of deadly poison. These build upon the previous work of his in the quite popular mod Virtuum, which covers usage animations for all kinds of different consumables. Starting with the newest one, we've got animated ingredients, and as you can probably tell by the name, it adds animations for ingredients. Just simply activate any form of ingredient in your inventory, and you'll see your character put a wide array of different stuff in their mouth, like a Nabekian longfin, moon sugar, or maybe you stumble upon a scrumptious looking nernroot. Now yes, it's hard to imagine some of these things tasting all that nice, and so, as part of the mod, you'll see your character start coughing when it makes sense. A couple of hours of Giant's Toast later, you might be feeling a bit worse for wear, and there'll be nothing you'll want more than a frisky bottle of health potion to get you back up and running. Luckily, there's also the mod Animated Potions. Just like animated ingredients, it gives us that sweet visual feedback when drinking. This one also comes with different meshes for each consumable potion model, and all in all just seamlessly integrates the usage of these in a better, more fluid way. That is also the case with the third mod, Animated Poisons, a mod that, as you've probably gathered by now, adds custom movement enabled animations to applicable poisons as well, where your character takes a moment to drip their blade into deadly fluid before unleashing it all on some unfortunate foe. Now, as for myself, poisons in vanilla isn't something that's been a part of my playstyle for a variety of reasons, with the biggest being the fact that the effect only lasts for one hit. Luckily, through the Papyrus extender, there's an optional file where you can set the amount of hits anywhere from 2 to 10, making these perilous bottles a little more worthwhile, and you know, that's generally why I recommend this set of mods. They're damn well worthwhile. But immersive animations don't only have to come in the form of consumable items, something Samuel G824 knows very well with the mod, tools not weapons. Ever thought of how foolish it looks when wielding tools like pickaxes and woodcutter's axes like any other weapon? I mean, there's no need for such an aggressive stance when you're about to mine some ore, you know, why you have to be mad? Tools Not Weapons simply fixes this by dynamically changing the wielding animation to something more relaxed, getting rid of that combat posture. Strolling up to some ore and just hitting it like normal looks a lot better now. The same goes for hitting trees with the axe, where you'll also be required to install FlipDeezy's Skyjack Simple Woodcutter. And next, another mod from Samuel G824, Wounds Injury Animations. Again, through the dynamic animation replacer, he ups the immersive levels even further. This mod is an add-on for the mod Wounds by IronDusk33 that adds a list of numerous injuries you can sustain from combat, and so the mod does the incredible thing of adding unique and different animations depending on the injury or combination of injuries you're dealing with. Whether a broken arm, concussion, cut on the leg, or whatever possible damage dealt on your character, Wounds Injury Animations adds animations to it all, and I do mean it all. As the aim of this mod is to have your immersion needs covered for all the movement seen with dealing with an injury, currently sitting on over 5,000 animation files. This is incredibly cool and useful as it adds more life and visual feedback to in-game situations. Those last stand battles you might have when barely hanging on to your life in face of a powerful enemy, they become a lot more epic and thrilling as you see your character try to stop the bleeding from a cut or wince in pain due to broken bones. This mod author certainly knows how to use animation to make the Skyrim world more believable and visually interesting. The next mod also makes the world more believable, albeit in its own way, a mod by one of the true Nexus goats himself, Wanking Skeever, with Sharpen Other Swords, a genius modification that distributes different swords and daggers to the sharpening wheel and tanning rack animations. Now, I get that Bethesda are quite proud of their base iron sword, but surely there are other swords in need of sharpening and other daggers than the iron one that can be used on the tanning racks. And so, with Sharpen Other Swords, you'll see blacksmiths sharpening swords relevant to their faction. In Markarth, they'll be sharpening Dwemer swords. In Solitude, Imperial swords, and in the Orcish strongholds, Orcish blades. In general, both the player and NPCs will actually use the weapons found in their inventory. Swords corresponding to whatever ingots being used will be prioritized, and your overall enjoyment of the game will be improved. Also, in the case you're using either believable weapons or better shaped weapons, Melvin Mods got you covered with patches. And we're not done with Wanking Skeever just yet. To be honest, with the rate he's going at, I can make a whole video based on his mods alone. Here's Cooking with Fire, a simple mod that lets you do the immersive thing of cooking food with fire spells, shouts, staves, and scrolls. What's the point of being able to shoot fire out of your palms if you can't use it to cook food? Using it in combat to engulf your enemies in scorching heat? Please. I believe I'm speaking for everyone when I say food is love, food is life, and this mod gets that. And it's a good introduction as we take a step further into the cooking mania with the mod Cooking Adventures in Skyrim by Northward Mods. A fun and comprehensive overhaul introducing new ingredients that can be used in over 55 new recipes, all of them implemented through new fancy workbenches and vendors like butchers, bakers, and merchants. There's even a possibility of encountering more hostile admirers of food making, where you'll have to put your Michelin-star cooking mastery to the test through solving fun little riddles in form of craftable pieces of paper named rumors. By doing so, you'll be able to acquire rare ingredients needed to further yourself in your cooking journey to cook them all. Like Pokemon, you know? Where instead of catching all the Pokemon, you're catching or acquiring ingredients to cook food. And boy is there a lot of food to cook. I'm talking smoked ox leg, seafood gumbo, garlic bread, dragon omelet, some good old tomato soup, and a lot more. The different dishes also provide different buffs and bonuses. Additionally, there's also the Dragonborn expansion, adding over 20 new unique recipes and ingredients based on the Solstheim and its people, nicely implemented through vendors situated on the island, as well as the Gourmet's Hideout, a player home once functioning as a secluded kitchen retreat to a prominent chef of Tamriel to practice his craft in peace. All but left to the Dragonborn to chef up some fire dishes with the meat acquired from slaying dragons. This mod is a lot of fun, adding so much more to the whole cooking aspect of Skyrim. Now, as a neat finishing touch, I also recommend getting Steaming Hot Soups and Stews by Hanais. Probably butchered that. A mod that adds that extra oomph to soups and stews, replacing the texture and adding an animated mesh with a subtle steam effect, visually giving them a more warm look, quite simply all that more enticing to the eye. Moving from cooking to stealth. Yes, I know the previous video was a stealth overhaul, and while I did know of this mod's existence as a pre-release on Patreon, I didn't know it would come out when it did. Sadly, I do not have the power of foresight, but what I do have is the ability to make more videos. And since this is quite a fun and quirky one, it fits perfectly into this video. Here's the mod Book of Shadows Behavior-Based Stealth Additions by Monitor 144Hz. This mod aims to add some much needed extra spice to Skyrim's stealth mechanics, and it does that quite well with some really clever additions implemented in ways that feel organic to the game. As a start, there's the animated masks. Now, masks are already something I'm quite fond of, as can be seen in my videos, but the masks added here do not just look good as fuck, they're fully functional. As you put one of these on, an action that's actually animated by the way, you conceal your identity, and should you get caught while doing something mischievous, the bounty will be added to a separate mask bounty, with both being merged once discovered. For the moments you're in need of a quick escape, there's the new smoke bombs. The smoke clouds caused by these limit the enemy's vision while they're left slowed down and coughing for air. The bombs are also visible on the player's waist within the inventory, which is quite cool. Then there's the addition of sentries. See, the mod automatically assigns some NPCs to carry war horns. These sentries are on the alert and ready to sound their alarms to ruin all of your sneaking fun. So you'll have to go about infiltrating certain areas in a different way. Naturally, neutralizing these sentries is a way to go. And you can't do that by pickpocketing the horns of them or, you know, getting rid of them. However, what if there was a way to put them down swiftly without anyone noticing? Well, there is, because monitor 144Hz added takedowns as well. By sneaking up behind an enemy target with the right hand unarmed, you're able to smoothly put them down for a custom set amount of time in the mod configuration menu. The hourglass icon lets you know how long you've got before they wake up. All the different icons this mod adds look great in general, being all sleek in design yet unintrusive to the gameplay. Again, the implementation, top notch. This mod is like a perfect soup that just hits right on a cold autumn night. It's got all the right ingredients of creativity, quirkiness, innovation, and of course, fun. Next, we've got a mod that I absolutely adore. I'm talking about Coin, also known as Coins of Interesting Natures by Tate Taylor and Victor F. This one certainly ticks the boxes of fun, quirkiness, and creativity. It essentially adds new types of coinage to Skyrim while also ever so slightly altering the in-game economy. See, Skyrim is a land containing many different types of people of different cultures, and there's also a lot of remnants from civilizations of the past, and so the mod introduces the ancient Folmer Malari, ancient Nord Drakar, Aelid Mala, Dwarven Nuchuark, Gibber, and Sandkar to the world space in places where it makes sense. Kinda like Witcher 3, you'll no longer be able to find septums in ancient Dwemer ruins and Jogger crypts. Now you'll be able to find a more interesting array of coins that make more sense. The different coins are also valued differently, with the ancient ones naturally being worth less. And not to mention, all the coins look both unique and nice. Now, while we can somewhat relate Coins of Interesting Natures to Witcher 3, there is no question as to what game this next unique mod has taken its inspiration from. And it's a game I've been waiting for since as long as I can remember, from playing The Prisoner of Azkaban, Order of the Phoenix, and Half-Blood Prince video games back in the day. So to say that I'm excited for the release of Hogwarts Legacy is quite the understatement. And so, naturally, this animation mod by Smooth or Skypia instantly caught my eye on its release. Here's Hogwarts in Skyrim, a mod adding an entirely new element of gameplay to magic combat in Skyrim. If you were to go to your mom and ask for Hogwarts Legacy, she'd point to this very mod and be like, "We've got Hogwarts Legacy at home." Built upon the modern combat overhaul and payload interpreter mods, it introduces these new wands as seen in the Harry Potter universe that can be used in a wide array of different attacks. In addition to the new shield and dodge spell, there's a total of 16 different spells. From the standard knockback Jinx, Flipendo, to power attacks like Stupefy, Bombarda, and Glacius. You can take these further with the charged attacks, Bombarda Maxima and Glacius Maxima. Then for those really vital moments, there's full charge attacks, where you'll harness all your magicka to perform powerful spells like Levicorpus Descendo and Gelida Tempore. The more powerful the spell, the bigger the magicka drainage. Getting to know each of these and the best way to use them in combat is quite a lot of fun. It's certainly something I never thought I'd be able to experience in Skyrim. So until the release of Hogwarts Legacy, this'll certainly do for me. And I certainly hope this video'll do for you. Yup, now that, ladies and gentlemen, that is a genius way to round off the video. If you go ahead and install any of these mods to try them out for yourself, do make sure to endorse them on Nexus and let the modders know just how much you appreciate their hard work. I mean, even if you already got some of the mods installed from before, you know, some extra appreciation and positivity never hurts. Quite the opposite actually, so feel free to show me some of that positivity down below by either commenting or liking the video. With that, this has been Gim. May your roll lead you to warm sands, everyone. See ya. Peace.